Buonasera a tutti, good evening and welcome to the Italian Radio Hour. Io sono Viviana and I would like to welcome back our regular listeners and also welcome any new listeners. Also be sure to like us on Instagram and Facebook at Italian Radio Hour and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any past video interviews. Vorrei dare il benvenuto ai nostri ascoltatori da tutto il mondo, grazie per essere con noi anche oggi mentre continuiamo il nostro viaggio per l'Italia e la cultura italiana. I'm very, very excited for today's conversation. In today's episode, we will be talking to Luciano Lamonarca, who is the founder of the Saint Pio Foundation. A foundation has been carrying out a huge mission and has been having a huge social impact, not only regarding to those faithful to the figure and the teachings of Padre Pio, San Pio, but also for some other initiatives in the Puglia region. Ma prima, pubblicità. Parli italiano? Do you want to learn, improve, or master your Italian? Istituto Mondo Italiano can help. Located in the heart of Regent Square, Mondo Italiano offers small group classes and one-on-one private tutoring in person or online to help you learn Italian in no time. Visit us online at www.istitutomondoitaliano.org. Well, benvenuto al programma, Luciano. Welcome, welcome.
Grazie a te. Thank you very much, Viviana, for having me. A great pleasure with all this snow, by the way.
Exactly. I can imagine what New York is going to look right now. So I was very excited to find out about you and your foundation because being born from a family of Pugliesi, I have to say that the image of Padre Pio was often seen in my grandparents' house and the house of many other family members. And there's always been a drawn to this picture that when you are 3 or 4 years old and you see this picture of a religious person with stigmas in his hands, it might create some, affection, curiosity, fear as well, until then the stories started to come out about the wonderful life of a man that dedicated his entire life to the poor. But for those that are not familiar with the figure of Padre Pio, as I'm accustomed to call, but he's actually Saint Pio. Luciano, can we go over a little bit some of the major initiatives of Padre Pio, where he was born, and some of the things that he did for those in suffering?
Well, I guess you highlighted very well the fact that in order to understand and to love a man, which was a man originally, before becoming a priest and a saint, you need to understand his roots. And his roots are those humble roots that are those of many of those Italian immigrants who were born before the First World War. Padre Pio was born in May 25th, 1887, in a southern town of Italy called Pietrelcina. It's a very small town in the province of Benevento, in the region of Campania. Since he was a child, he was 5 years old, he has committed and he has said repeatedly that he wanted to be a priest and he wanted to follow Jesus in his path. To that extent, Padre Pio's father, Grazio Forgione, which for me is an example, it's a remarkable example, left the country. And in the end, after several attempts, he actually landed in Pittsburgh. And he worked there for more than 15 years because his desire was to provide for his family, for provide for Padre Pio's education. Therefore, we have a father like the 3.2 millions of Italian immigrants who left the country to go somewhere else to work to offer a better chances for their family. So we have a Saint Pio because there was his father that was an example that wanted to actually offer some things remarkable for his child. Padre Pio during life was a person who suffered much. He had so many pain, so many healing problems, to the extent that his superiors sent them to San Giovanni Rotondo later on because they want for him to be in 2018, because they want him to be better, to heal at least. And San Giovanni Rotondo is located on the Gargano mountain, and the air and all the environments was a best fit for St. Pio's own health. As the story developed then, we know that Padre Pio was the only priest who was stigmatized, means that accordingly to the funding and the records, everything we have, Jesus give to Saint Pio the wound of the passion, the wound of the cross, even though Saint Pio has always said that I would rather have the pains, I will bear the pains of this wound, but not to be visible. Practically, Padre Pio has always declared that he was not happy. He did God's willingness or obey to God's will, but he preferred not to, for this to be visible. He was a very reserved person, very much humble. And as the story continues to unfold, it is clear that Padre Pio was a remarkable man to the extent that he was gifted to certain virtues to be able to see, for instance, or predict the future of many, or offer miracles and cures for some, and or even during First and Second World War, accordingly to the writing of certain generals who were there, being able to preserve San Giovanni Rotondo not being bombed during the Second World War. So there are many facts that are fascinating and surrounding Padre Pio's area. The Saint Pio Foundation came in all this because I believe that me and you, for instance, are Catholic. For us, seeing the Padre Pio, the stigmatist, will be easier to understand because it's part of our culture. But coming to America, I found some resistance because I believe they need to know first the man who was at the core. Padre Pio, even if he didn't have the stigmata, was a pious man, a very humble man that prayed and dedicated his life to those who came to visit him, giving voice, giving comfort, giving words of wisdom. We just released we are releasing day by day some of his letters, 365 letters, which are public domain. We translated, we made available to those who follow the activities of the Saint Pio Foundation, because that's an inside depth of knowing how Padre Pio has suggested he's faithful to deal with certain situation. And this is amazing because it's not just believing on the saint, which we know Padre Pio was a giant saint. It's just to see how remarkable the man is.
The man was. And so also in addition to, there was the foundation of the house, the home for the relief of suffering, the Casa di Sollievo della Sofferenza, which is started with a 300 bed facility, and now I think is in the thousands that has. And then when was he actually proclaimed? So he was proclaimed saint by Pope John Paul II. Is that correct?
That's correct. In June 16, 2002. So it was about, this year will be 22 years since that canonization, but this year remarks the 25th anniversary of his beatification.
Yes.
For this occasion, actually, we have a series of events. I'm happy to announce to Mondo Italiano per la prima volta that Matteo Colella, which was actually the boy who was miracled by St. Pio, and miracle was recognized by the Vatican and that allowed Padre Pio to become a saint, is coming to the US for the first time ever for a series of events where he will be speaking about his personal story with St. Pio and his miracle that led Padre Pio to become a saint.
Wow. Well, talking about miracles, you have a very touching and personal story to the figure of Padre Pio that I hope that you can share with our audience. And it's a journey that has taken you and your beautiful wife, Valentina, to a happy ending, but not as easy, not as a fairy tale. Would you mind telling us your own story and your connection to the figure of Saint Pio?
Absolutely, Vivian. No, it is a great opportunity for me to share what happened to me, to my wife, and what led me to found the Saint Pio Foundation. Because, again, in my artistic career, I always try to see an artistic point or a point that inspired me much to do some things unique, remarkable, and different. The facts unfold in 2010, December 3rd. We were just get married May 15, 2010. Valentina and I got married. We went on a honeymoon. We discovered that we were pregnant. No, what a blessing can be. You just get married. You are pregnant with a daughter. And as we went along line in the pregnancy, when Valentina was 6 months and a half in pregnancy, she lost her pregnancy. So we had a stillborn Alma, which not only was challenging moment. Imagine that we are both immigrants. We were just for a few years in this country without family support. You are practically, you embrace. I was holding the little body of Alma that we couldn't keep her alive for quite a few instants when the priest came and blessed her. The consequences of that let's see later miscarriage brought us to Valentina serious complications. She has to go many additional surgeries, which fatally allow doctor to says that she probably won't be able to have any children on her own. Now, of course, this is a kind of, it's a death sentence for a parents, especially for a mother in her 30s, when you all wanted is just to have a family, and that's the vision that we had. Me, I always was the rock of the family in terms of faith. I come from Puglia, the land of Saint Pio, and here I am. And that's, I was sinking. I was sinking literally. I was weak. I couldn't find words to lift the spirit of our couple. And then I told to Valentina that no, we must go back to Italy. I felt that deep need for me to go back to Italy, to Puglia, and we went to San Giovanni Rotondo. It was May 15, 2011. On our first anniversary, we went to San Giovanni Rotondo. Like many, there are cases like Matteo Pio Colella, miracle happened within 24 hours. Our case took years, but I always say, hey, miracle, it's always work in progress. You cannot expect that you knock the door and the miracle is happening. No, you need to be faithful and believe in it. We went, we prayed in front of the tomb, we asked for a sign, and later on we believed the sign came. At that moment we didn't believe it was a sign, but long story short, we were hosted at the Centro di Spiritualità Padre Pio, which is a center in front of Padre Pio Shrine, built by Monsignor Pierino Galeone, one of the only last living priest friend of Padre Pio. Today, Monsignor Pierino is 96 years old. He built this wonderful retreat in front of the shrine. And they host us there because there are many people who knows me there. And at the end of our lunch, we were invited to share a bowl of ice cream with Monsignor Pierino. He was with us, his fellow priests and sisters. And then he stood up and saw that we practically came to us and asked what was the reason why we were there. And we told Monsignor Pierino. So he lead us in a moment of prayer, and then he did something particular that my friends told me he doesn't do often. He opened his jacket and take off a ziplock. In this ziplock there was a handkerchief with Saint Pio bloodstain. Now, Viviana, I'm not joking when I say that was my first encounter with Saint Pio, because in the moment Monsignor Pierino opened the ziplock and removed this handkerchief, there was a scent of roses. It's like a florist would have appeared and dropped just 1,000 roses immediately, all of a sudden. As so intense was the scent, the smell, that Valentina and I start watching us and start crying. Mm-hmm. We realized there was some things of divine. Mm-hmm. Monsignor Pierino asked me to hold that, continue to pray on us, and told Valentina that don't worry, continue to pray. Padre Pio will be helping you. And Monsignor Pierino it's an important part of St. Pio's life. And he wrote to one of his cards, the Blessed Valentina, and to the child who will come to bless your lives. Wow. Child, not children. And then to me, that what I was doing in my life as career, but I will be a very important advocate for St. Pio. Now, 2011, you were not talking about Saint Pio for me. For me, yes, I was coming to asking for help. Now, the question is, coming back, I was trying to get in touch. It was on the back of my mind what Monsignor Pierino wanted to say. And I was asking, because of my career, people were asking.
Just for everyone to know, you had a flourishing career as an opera singer. So
That's
And
correct.
so
I
you
am a
travel all
tenor.
over. You are,
Yes,
I mean,
yes. And so groups of Padre Pio association were calling me and asking me to perform for the events and asking for them to raise money to stay together in the name of Saint Pio. Something was missing until in 2013. I used to have a private foundation called Puglia Center of America. It's a foundation I funded because I really wanted to bring my region to this country, and I sponsor a series of initiatives about the book that represent pictures of the photographer, one of the photographers of Saint Pio. And we did 9 events from Connecticut to Pennsylvania. And then I start to realize that how I believe there was missing a deep bridge about what is Saint Pio and what the community in America knew about him. Despite the fact that people didn't know much, they have a great faith on the saint, more than mine. Well, Sebastian, our son, was not still coming. There was nothing in the horizon that will tell me that we were going to have a children, and that's was played a big role in our life as a couple, because I see that there were no other things, and of course, Valentina was more inclined in trying other things that I'll say the church would not approve, but more than the church, I don't approve. I am very much a man of a natural. I'm a man of that. If comes, he has to come in the way the human nature is. Otherwise, I was going to adopt the children.
Mhm.
I was inclined. That's me. Again, I respect all the other view, but that's the way it is. Well, I decided that the way I am, I shouldn't just say that San Gennaro, fammi la grazia, che se mi fa la grazia io ti faccio il fioretto. That's not me. I don't ask until I do some things. And then I decided that I should have done some things for Saint Pio. And then at least I would have doing my best. And that's it was. In April 4th, 2014, this year we celebrate our 10th anniversary, I founded Saint Pio Foundation. The beginning, again, I am an artist. At the beginning was all about artistic field, fundraising events, trying to see how we can spread or teaching people about Saint Pio through the artistic fields. But I had not a clear view. But here is the miracle happened. On Christmas Day, Valentina woke up and says, I'm pregnant. We watched again. It's like we knew it was going to happen. So despite the several miscarriages she had throughout these 5 years, we knew it was going to happen. Sebastian was born. We had a child, a great child. It's healthy. It's wonderful boy in the sense that it's very caring. It's very kind, and it's Sebastian is 8 years old. So it was born on September 3rd, 2015. And of course, you can understand when that happens, what I believe was going to be a limited time for me to dedicate to the foundation actually sparkle power and desire in me to do best, to do more.
Yes.
And then I put all my energy in work and went to Rome, speaking with a few others that knows me and bishops and cardinals. 2017, we started to bring the relics of St. Pio in this country, and I think that comes as a momentum in
Yeah.
having all people know about the work we were doing.
Okay, so let me see if I can pull out a video of one of the experiences. There is a little bit of audio, but you can feel free to talk over it because if I'm correct, you also mentioned Pittsburgh and in 2017,
E Figlio e Spirito Santo.
see the relic.
We want to reach out to the people and bring the legacy of Padre Pio to them. This year, especially as it was the 130th anniversary of Padre Pio's birth and the 15th anniversary of his canonization, we are sponsoring this tour of the relics for the first time so that people can have this spiritual encounter with him. When we founded the foundation just a little bit more than 3 years ago, we found out that many people were actually devotees of Padre Pio but never flew to Italy. They never could reach actually the location of San Giovanni Rotondo where Padre Pio's body is now buried.
Did
you feel something special?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop crying. The most wonderful feeling I've had in a long, long time.
When you touch it, it's something really special.
Us to be able to pilgrimage to this site with my family and young children, and wow, what a blessing.
They're coming to have that experience of Padre Pio, whose gentleness, whose kindness, whose compassion associates all of those who come into contact with him with Jesus Christ.
They feel that by coming close to the relics of Padre Pio, they are coming close to holiness.
So just by watching these images, the impact is so strong that this opportunity that your organization presented to the faithful to be close and touch the relics of Padre Pio must have also been impactful for you, seeing all of that. Can you describe what?
It was, I came from being on stage or being between the faithful. You have this opportunity to realize that I come from a blessed land, like you and your parents were, and where Padre Pio's body and the shrine, everything is so accessible. Sometimes not that you don't value, you don't have that kind of, I don't say even not that you don't have respect, you give it for granted.
Give it for granted.
You just, yeah, you just give it for granted. And here we are, a few precious relics, but relics of Saint Pio, and the faithful being in line for hours just for a moment, and the beliefs, the healing, the prayer, and the faith they repose on these relics. And then they were coming to, because the 2018 I covered the full tour. It was 130 days out of my own home, because we were just in the process of understanding, and I have to see with my eyes and help and actually do the manual work. And you realize from why people were flying for 4 or 5 hours by flying or by car. And then you realize that it's all about the faith that person had in a remarkable man, of which they heard story of. But again, the relics was a first time, it was an approach. You ask the veneration means to bring respect. So you bring respect to a saint, but also it is believed that praying in the proximity of a relics of a saint, it's a more powerful intercession. I felt compelled to say that I was unworthy. I was unworthy because why I'm here. I was like, I'm doing this. Do I really, this what I want to do? I'm worth it to do this, because they said there was some things bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that you are doing something that you are doing something for the greatest of the others for the first time in my life. And in fact, even if we decide to do the Relics tour in 2017 and 18 only, we continue. And even during COVID, a few dioceses we were able to cover during COVID, until these past very years. We stopped finally the tour of the Relics of Saint Pio this year, because we have so many other activities, and we decided that the Relics of Saint Pio should be provided to foreign countries as well.
Yes. So I'm going to go into a quick break, and then we'll be talking a little more about the mission of the organization, and also some of these people, the advocates for the Saint Pio Foundation. Applying for Italian citizenship, need documents translated. Istituto Mondo Italiano provides certified translations and assistance services. Be sure to visit us at www.istitutomondoitaliano.org and schedule your free consultation. Un caffè, per favore. My first cup of coffee sets the tone for my entire day, and I get my coffee at La Prima Espresso. La Prima has been brewing Pittsburgh's best coffee for nearly 35 years. Try any of their in-house roasted varieties of beans from all over the world at home, or come and enjoy an espresso or a cappuccino at any of their locations, where their friendly baristas and familiar faces will make you feel at home. Visit laprima.com to get La Prima Espresso coffee at your door. Well, the amount of work and the mission, education in the area of hunger and food insecurity and spirituality has also drawn the interest of, let's say, celebrities. Can we just spread some names? People that have been instrumental in working as ambassadors of the Saint Pio Foundation.
Well, surely I would like to say the first, because it was the first and also the most dear for me, it's actor Joe Mantegna, currently still employed with this many series of Criminal's Mind. Joe Mantegna has been a wonderful supporter, and one of the first was being awarded, but also we have actor Gary Sinise, singer Jose Feliciano, singers Andrea Bocelli, and a few others that of the sphere in acting, Hollywood, or singing. All those who have that devotion of Saint Pio within them, or they have that kind of admiration, the way I see it, but never voice it, and probably agree to use the Saint Pio Foundation as a platform to voice that.
Yes. So now, there are some other missions or some other initiatives that fall under the umbrella of your organization. And one, when we talk about food insecurity and hunger, there's actually a cute one, the Pizza for a Smile, to help nourish and lift the spirit. And then we will move into another initiative that brings us back to Puglia. But tell us a little bit about the Pizza for a Smile.
The Pizza for a Smile, it's a wonderful initiative we just launched this past November. Again, it's as unfold series of events that I think they are suggested by me from Saint Pio. I use this kind of sympathy words. In 2021, I was watching my son. We love a local pizza truck, which the gentleman is from Naples, and he does authentic Neapolitan pizza. Sebastian is a fan and loves pizza. So he was 5 years old. He was waiting for close to me under the hand to pick up this pizza from the pizza truck man. And close to him was this little girl who was screaming because her mother could not collect. It was not a matter of being poor. The credit card machine was not working. So the mother of this girl could not collect the $14 she need. Therefore, she was screaming and she couldn't have the pizza. So Sebastian took the pizza, went to her. If you want, we can share.
Oh,
It was so honest and so beautiful to see. And as they were sitting there, the mother came and found the $14, so purchased the pizza, and these two kids were together eating pizza. Then you realize there are hundreds of thousands of food pantries to try to feed those who need help, and they are doing a wonderful job. However, I believe that because I'm Italian, and because if I follow Saint Pio's own legacy, what he's done, for instance, in Casa Solleva la Sofferenza, you might eat even just better than any kind of restaurants in America because of the high quality of products they have. I should respect my Italian tradition and offer some things that offer not just food, which means not packaged food, but something that is freshly prepared. And what can be better than pizza? We all know when we are down, say, I'm in a mood for a pizza. It's not that it's not your body, it's your mind and your inner inside that wants the pizza. So by delivering the pizza, you want some things in exchange for the person who cannot afford, which is a smile. That's the person gives. As I have to unfold, I can't just do everything on my own. I need the voice. I think Netflix pops up just giving the right answer. They published this world famous series documentary called Chef Table Pizza. They were the most prominent pizza chefs around the world, and Chris Bianco, which is considered an icon in America, was the headliner. Now I try myself to get in touch with him. I did. Now we are good friends, and I love Chris, and I'm very, very touched by how humble this man is. He became the spokesperson. So now we launch from Los Angeles. We are launching initiative in Dallas. We will be in Philadelphia soon. We're doing Washington, D.C., where to launch an initiative from a metropolitan city, we need to find a sponsor, a pizzeria who is donating at least a minimum of 1,000 pizzas. So we are donating 1,000 pizzas so far, and also in the area where we are in New York, in a way that, again, they are freshly made. The people who are not coming to take their own little bag with food products stop by and take up their own pizza that can eat. So I think it's a way of let them see that we care about you and we really want you to feel important in this day.
Well, there is another project that is dear to us because Istituto Mondo Italiano is proudly partnering with the Saint Pio Foundation to support, again, a new initiative is called Amano Libera senza barre, which is freehand and without bars. And this is a project, is an alternative to detention for inmates and ex-inmates of Italian prisons. And motivated by a strong desire for personal and social redemption, program participants work on a 25-acre farm in Andria, so back in Puglia, where they learn the artisanal skill and the life skills to produce the best taralli ever. So we're going to, again, watch a little video, and then we can tell our audience how they can also support these missions. So, and you know, you and I, you know, grew up on taralli. So when we say they are the best, we're saying it because they are. Okay.
They are indeed.
Giving a second chance to those in need of a helping hand. Amano Libera, or freehand, is a product of hope and change, whose mission is to offer a second chance to current and former prisoners that seek to re-enter and reintegrate into society. Located in Italy's Puglia region, Amano Libera was launched by the Diocese of Andria to assist prisoners and former prisoners that have become eligible to be part of alternative forms of detention. They do their educational work on a farm surrounded by 25 acres of land. By learning how to make these baked goods, they prepare themselves to re-enter society after they've been rehabilitated.
Non passano giorni che non penso a quello che ho commesso tanti anni fa. Oggi non lo rifarei.
Not a day goes by without thinking about what I did many years ago. I wouldn't do it again. I thank the Amano Libera project, which helped me. And I also want to testify that for everything one does, sooner or later there is a price to be paid. I want to leave a good memory for my grandchildren and to let them know that I am a changed person, totally changed.
Thanks to the Saint Pio Foundation, and in keeping with the teachings of Padre Pio, these snacks will be made available in the United States, so that you can help us making a difference that can have a big impact on persons who are at the bottom of society. By supporting this unique project, you'll be offering a real second chance to those who seek one.
Amano Libera vuole essere una mano verso chi ne ha.
Amano Libera wants to extend a hand to those who need it, a second opportunity through a journey of faith, conversion, and redemption. Lend a helping hand. Make a difference. Be a part of offering a real second chance to those who need it most.
We will be sharing the link in the show notes and also among our members and followers of Istituto Mondo Italiano, so that everyone can contribute to make a difference, because there are initiatives to give a second chance, and who wouldn't in life have a second chance with dignity And this is what the project brings up. And then also a skill, and then the tradition of Toralli. Can I ask you how you came about this initiative, coming up with this idea?
Like many times, we have so many initiatives, but then you go to Italy, go to Puglia, to visit all the time my beloved land, and then a friend of mine told me about Don Riccardo, the founder of this project. Hey, yes, you must come, Luciano, you must come. At the beginning, it was like many have this kind of reaction when you talk about inmates. I was afraid. Then I had my son with me. Okay, let's go. I went, I entered, I had fears. I exit. I didn't want to leave.
Uh-huh.
It
Yes.
was amazing. It was amazing speaking with these wonderful men and women. They all want to tell the story. They all want to tell that I can't. They all want to tell that I regret. They all want to tell that we know we did a mistake. And we all know, Viviana, when you get out from prison, that stain remain, even if you pay your due. Of course, depend on what kind of a little kind of sentence you've been sent. But those are all people who came from a different society. They have not done a bigger mistake in their life. And then I realized that when I came in this country, especially when I came in this country, and I've done my little mistake too. So grateful for many who gave me second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. We all wanted to have one more chance in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'm gonna take 100 case. I'm gonna go September 2022. I'm gonna go to New York. I told Father Don Riccardo, no promise. I'm gonna see. We had an event. At 2 minutes, I sold 100 cases. To my donors were in love, only the idea. Then I said, okay, maybe I can really do something with Fono Riccardo. Went back from the city of Andria. We launched the initiative Green Mile. I wanted to call it Green Mile because for those who know and have seen the movie of Tom Hanks, the Green Mile there has a different connotation. Like there's a negative one. Well, a green is actually the pavement that the person is walking into to go on the electric to be executed. In this case, the green is the color of hope. The mile in Latin means 1,000 steps. In this case, we have 1,000 boxes. So I ordered a full container of 1,000 boxes of Taralli, which we finish it, and we have ordered a new one. And every time in the order of 1,000, and every time we try to give some help, not only because definitely it's a big order we make. We will ask our friends, you can make an impact whether you are Catholic or not. You have to go to the shelves. When the moment you choose a product, you make a selection.
It's social impact.
If that selection has a double meaning, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, for those who are here listening to us, this will be the best taralli you will have ever tasted. Told by a Pugliese who have eaten so many taralli in life, and I have many. These are exceptional good, made by hand with an old recipe, and stick with that because gourmet taralli. Cost a little bit more than others, but when you flavor them in your mouth,
yes,
you will discover another world.
And then again, we'll be indicating, once you go onto the website, if you can click on the Istituto Mondo Italiano. Again, we like to support it. We like to support also our programs. So we would appreciate you choosing Istituto Mondo Italiano as the organization that allowed you to learn about this initiative. Well, we're getting close to the end of our beautiful conversation. Just two quick questions. One, for those that want to visit and discover some landmarks in Padre Pio's land, what are some of the places? And I think there was a square that was dedicated to the people of the United States.
That's correct. In the town of Pietrelcina, in the fraction of Piana Romana where Saint Pio has met Jesus, according to his writing.
Yes. And then obviously, we didn't talk about much about your artistic career, but what's next? Maybe for your musical career and the foundation, maybe separate or maybe together. Can we have a little spoiler?
Why not? I think we can definitely do it. We have several other initiatives, which include at least for the foundation a series of other events, including the launch of the song of Saint Pio, the docudrama on the life of Saint Pio, where Joe Mantegna will be the voice narrator, and some of the celebrities I mentioned before will be part of. They will be produced with EWTN and televised worldwide. And on my career, I am back since last year. I took a few performances back, starting with the concert in Carnegie Hall and revised to launch in April. I think the foundation now is set in a way that we're good. We have a few team members who work daily on the foundation, and I think I am safe for me to say that I would like to see my next 20 years continuing performing as well.
Fantastico. So, well, unfortunately, our time together is up. Il Big Ben ha detto stop. It is time for us to say arrivederci e alla prossima. We want to thank you for tuning in into the program. If you have any questions or comments, or if you would like us to address any topics, please contact us at theitalianradiohour@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And remember, if you or any of your family and friends have missed a prior episode or would like to listen to this episode again, subscribe to the Italian Radio Hour on YouTube or where you catch your favorite podcasts. I would like to profusely thank my guest, Luciano Lamonarca, our sponsors, Istituto Mondo Italiano e La Prima Espresso. Until next time, alla prossima, ciao ciao. But this time, Luciano is going to tell us in Pugliese dialect, if we need to go, we go. If we don't need to go, we don't go. Can you give it to me?
Assolutamente. C'è una masciscia, Mannin, c'è una mascina, non c'è.
You see, for all the Pugliese out there, a big ciao, and we'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.